what keeps me up at night, this is it. I purposely don't watch the news because it is perpetual bad news. It is the anger, inflation machine. The whole point of it is to keep you engaged and keep you watching. And I'd much rather use my energy on productive things and trying to find solutions to creating a world that is worth living in, not one to be afraid of. And I couldn't, this story found me. I had an incredible conversation with a coworker today, and it naturally progressed, and he asked me if I had heard of this story of the police officer in Seattle. This is about a month ago that this happened, and there was body cam footage released of a union rep officer talking about the incident where another officer had struck a pedestrian and she did not survive the accident. And I just want to play a very brief snippet of the audio of this.
I don't think she was thrown 40 feet either. I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead. No, it's a regular person. Yeah, just write a check. Yeah, look, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
I mean, you can hear the disconnect from humanity and reality in the inauthentic laughter, the chaos in his laughter, the panic in his laughter, it's inhumane. It's not human the way that he is showing up in the world right there. His laugh says it all. He's showing his cards in his nervousness, in his vulnerability, in that awkward laugh. But just the absolute disgusting disregard for human value. She's just a regular person? What? What do you think you are? What do you think any of us are? I have news for you. We're all regular people. We are on the same team. The same humanity. If you have blood in your veins, you require calories to survive. You have to use the restroom to expel the toxic waste in your body. You are a human being. There is nothing in your bank account. There is no job you can clock into that makes you less human or more human. I don't care what your zip code is, if you have a roof over your head or not, if you showered today, if you ate today, you are a human being. And you are an incredible creature that is capable of the incapable. Oh, this is so disturbing and disgusting. And just the the lack of value. His ignorance is so astounding that he undervalues her in an obvious way, but even from his twisted logic, he undervalues her. To just take the shameful minimum wage right now of $7.25 per hour, national average, times a 40-hour work week that which is a minimum of what we need to do to even pay a bill, times that by 52 weeks, you're at $15,000 per year pre-tax. And he says, oh, just write a check for $11,000? That's not even minimum wage. And I'm so appalled by this. So something I brought up, and I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into this, is before I had gone back to this current job, I studied and became a licensed insurance agent for health and life. And one of the things that comes into play for paying and setting up somebody's benefits is determining their human life value, and to just take their income alone is not enough. Because you're not accounting for the limitless possibilities that this person could have taken advantage of. It's that opportunity cost that is lost. So just a brief, let me Google this for you. Human life value involves assigning a monetary worth to oneself in order to estimate the potential future expenses of your loved ones. So the whole point of this is we need to take care of her family, those that are left behind grieving this loss. You think $11,000 is going to you might as well give them nothing. Just go slap them in the face 11 times. That's what you're doing with your blood money. So in this, a couple key takeaways on this great blog. It's kotaklife.com. And they just kind of break it down real nice. Human life value involves assigning that worth, and the initial step is determining your human life value is evaluating the person's present income and capacity to earn in the future. So she was 26. You also have to determine when did she plan on retiring. And then you take away current living expenses and anticipated expenses in the future. Or you don't take away, you need to provide for those, because these are all part of the future that was taken away from her. In the event of the individual's untimely death, it is essential to identify the financial requirements of their dependents. So now it's not even what did she make, what was her earning potential, it's what does her family require of her. Because as most of you do and are doing, you rise to the challenge. When a need presents itself, you do whatever it takes to meet the need, especially for your family. That's what being human is. I don't want to dig too much deeper into the weeds of that, but I was reading Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. This before I was going to bed, and there was, of course, this synchronicity, which is probably why I couldn't sleep and got up at 4 a.m. to talk about this. So in this, it says the actual capital value of your brains. He's talking about how your brains are the greatest asset for a company or for your business. And I love that this. He says the day of the go-getter has passed. He has been supplanted by the go-giver. Well, let's say he, she, they. Let's update the book a little bit here. But the actual capital value of your brains may be determined by the value of income you can produce by marketing your services. A fair estimate of the capital value of your services may be made by multiplying your annual income by 16 2/3, as it is reasonable to estimate that your annual income represents 6% of your capital value. And then he goes on and says, money is worth no more than brains. It is often worth much less. I love that. So we're sitting at $15,080 just for 1 year. So let's multiply that by 16.66. And now we're at $251,232.80. So you're at you're still undervalued at this point because you haven't, that's just her earning potential if she made minimum wage that stayed the same for her entire life, which is highly unlikely for a person that is 26 years old. So then you have to account what were her interests, what was she passionate about, what was the career field she was motivated to pursue, what does that pay, what is the trajected growth of that field. As a woman, does she have, what is her acceleration for growth? All of these are determining factors for raising this amount. So $251,000 is the minimum of what her potential human life value should be. And then you have to account for her family. What does her family need? What does her family require? What was she contributing, not just financially, but emotionally, to the cohesiveness of their family? That is the human value that we all have. We add to every relationship and every group that we're a part of in invaluable ways, exponential ways. Earlier in this chapter, he says, he's talking about having talking about your mastermind group, putting together groups of like-minded people that are passionately pursuing the same goal and are in harmony, locked together with determination to achieve that goal. And he says, no individual has sufficient experience, education, native ability, and knowledge to ensure the accumulation of a great fortune without the cooperation of other people. Other ordinary people. That's the human experiment That's what we're here for, is to contribute collectively to create things that are exponentially greater than the sum of all of our parts added together, of which she would have been a part of something great, if not removed from this world due to negligence and neglect. And you can't put a value, you can't put a dollar amount on her potential contributions. You can't put a dollar amount on the love that her family and friends have for her, the loss they will feel for their entire life. So I will stop this rant, this grief. I'm angry. I'm grieving with the family and their loss. And I just want to point this out. Martin Luther King made it clear. This is talking about being in the middle of two worlds. And in this one specifically talking about what is and what should be. Martin Luther King made it clear that within the African American community, he was not everyone's hero. He also pointed out that the community was divided. Quote, "I stand in the middle of two opposing forces in the community. One is a force of complacency, the other one of bitterness and hatred." So this goes on to say he was referring to those who could not or would not see the purpose of change, and those who believed that much more radical change strategies should be adopted, rather than King's nonviolent resistance. Change is always carried forward by creative visionaries, but is resisted by fearful conservatives and hot-headed radicals who want more than what is possible. So we end up living in the middle between what is and what should be. And we just argue about it. And I just want you to act justly. Just act justly. We either have justice for all or justice for none. There's no middle when it comes to justice. There's no valuable human and there's no invaluable human. So we can take those out of the conversation. That is a manipulation. Last thing I wanted to say, just talking about leadership. On that note, decide at the outset whether you intend to become a leader in your chosen calling or remain a follower. Great leaders became great leaders because they were intelligent followers. The man who cannot follow a leader intelligently cannot become an efficient leader. The man who can follow a leader most efficiently is usually the man who develops into leadership most rapidly. An intelligent follower has many advantages, among them the opportunity to acquire knowledge from his leader. The major attributes of leadership: unwavering courage, self-control, a keen sense of justice, definiteness of decision, definiteness of plans, the habit of doing more than paid for, a pleasing personality, sympathy and understanding, mastery of detail, willingness to assume full responsibility, and cooperation. There are two forms of leadership. The first, and by far the most effective, is leadership by consent of and with the sympathy of the followers. The second is leadership by force, without the consent and sympathy of the followers. And please do not misunderstand me. This is not a frustration against all police officers, all peace officers. This is a frustration against apathy, against injustice, against divisiveness, othering. If you are a peace officer and you are working every day to uphold justice and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for every human being that walks on this soil that we are so lucky to take care of, you are doing the hardest job within the hardest job. And I appreciate you thoroughly, and do not lose strength. Do not lose your character. Keep going. Keep doing well, because we are with you. That's leadership. Doing what is right. That's leadership, with the support of everyone. You will never be at a loss for support and love when you are working for the benefit of humanity, for the people you were entrusted to care for. And I just want to leave you with that. My absolute respect and love for everyone that is doing the work of justice and doing it with courage. It is the hardest work you will ever do. And for this family, they deserve so much love, so much an outpouring of our shared grief, our empathy. And if you have resources to give financially, please do so. I don't know if there's a GoFundMe or anything, but if you can only give $11, send it. If you can give $1,100, send it. If you can give $11,000, send it. The minimum that this family should be getting is $251,000 and $232. That's the minimum of what should be showing up in a check in their mailbox. And that is just the earning potential. So we need to move that decimal. 2.2 2.5 million, maybe now you're talking about starting to represent the value of their cherished little girl with something so invaluable like money when it comes to someone's life. So that's all I got. Let's just show them some love. Let's show them some love, and let's do what is just, and let's do it well.